Hi, everyone. This is TJ Muehlman, founder and CEO of Standard Co. with a Metabase tutorial. Today, we're going to discuss Metabase 47. This is their most recent major release. It's packed full of really good stuff that we're excited about. From our perspective, there's a number of things that we're going to kind of gloss over because they don't really impact our customer base. But there's 3 or 4 things that we want to talk about and demonstrate how you can use them in your installs and take full advantage of them. For our Standard Co customers, we'll be rolling this out over the next week or two, and we'll keep you posted on the exact rollout date. But for now, you can just kind of follow along and see what we're going to be doing. So we're going to focus on these 3 highlighted areas. So tabbed navigation on dashboards, which is a really great new feature, which will help kind of break dashboards down, especially larger dashboards. Full width headings, which is a really nice little cosmetic feature. And the one that I'm really excited about is the ability to hide cards that have no results. And I'll walk you through an exact kind of use case for how we plan to use those. So follow along. I'll kind of walk you through it in our main installation. Okay, so here we are in our main install. And what we're going to do is we're going to showcase some examples of how we're going to utilize these features when we build dashboards for our customers. We are now in our demo environment. We're going to use our education data set just because it's the cleanest and the easiest to understand. But the first thing you'll notice on this dashboard is you see this concept of tabs. And so what we've done here is we've broken this particular dashboard into 3 tabs. Normally, you would see all of the questions that we're going to show you on these 3 tabs all in one dashboard. Well, the challenge there is that most of the data that you would see would be below what we call the scroll or below the fold. And historically, things that are below, if you have to scroll down, are the things that are least viewed by the end user. And so by breaking this into tabs, you're now basically wanting to highlight things that are in the sort of the first individual pane, and then you can do that across tabs. So for example, this first tab is overall demographics for a given school district. So we've broken it down by race and by gender, and we've all the students that live in a particular zip code. And we'll show you what this means here in just a moment. But then you go over to the math section, and you can see that you've got your just questions related to math. So the overall score in the school district is 82.32 for all of the math. So that's algebra and calculus and geometry and so on and so forth. But you also have over here, let me just show weekly algebra grades, which uses the trend visualization. This shows me over the last week, it's 88.25 is the average algebra grade for all the students in this district. And that's up 0.28%, which from 88 last week. And so this little allows us to kind of, again, break this particular dashboard into component parts. Similar for science, you can see it's 81.57, and this for biology alone, it's 82.25, which is down 1.5%. The trend visualization is not new, but it is one that I think is underutilized and really important and really impactful. The next thing we want to demonstrate, we go back to this demographics, is if I click edit, you'll notice there's a question here. And this is, I'm just calling this the no results test because it's one that I've guaranteed to not produce any results. In previous versions of Metabase, if you have a question with no results, it will always appear as no results. And often you want that. You want to show that there's no maybe outliers or there's no one that might have some data in this particular question. But maybe you want to use this almost as decision logic. Maybe you want to hide the question if there's no results because it's not meaningful to the end user. So you can do that by adding your question and clicking on visualization options. And you'll see hide this card if there are no results. And when you toggle that off, we'll toggle it off to kind of show you this and save. And you'll see this question has no results, but it's still appearing. But I can hide it by toggling it off. And let me save. And you notice that card disappears. Again, you would sort of use this again as an if this, display this card, else display this other card. And that's how we intend to use it. We're really excited about it. If we're thinking about it in an education context, this would allow us to have one dashboard for high school, middle school, and elementary school, and only show cards, for high school grades, middle school grades, and elementary school grades. And then if they're empty, if we're looking at a high school, it would hide the middle school and elementary school. So that's a really good example of a use case. The second thing the next thing I wanted to show you, and I guess this is probably the last, is there is a new text box option. So previously, when you added a text, you would add a text box like this, and then you could add markdown to make it look like heading or make it an image or what have you. Now there's a heading option, which is great because I spent a lot of time resizing boxes to be just purely heading, and that's really a nice new feature. And then last, I guess this is the very last thing I want to highlight, is you'll notice it's probably hard to tell, but the granularity of the dashboard has gotten a lot more fine-tuned, meaning the way you can resize a grid has gotten a lot better. So notice this particular is just very small. In the old Metabase, the smallest you could have was about this size. So that meant you just were having a lot of chunky visualizations on there, absorbing a lot of real estate that probably don't need to take up that much space. This trend is a perfect example. We can make it this small, which is about 1/4 the size it used to be. And it's now taking up a lot less space, but still communicating the same effect and the same gravity to the end user. So this means you can fit more onto your data dashboard and get more out of your dashboards. As I mentioned before, there's a lot more to this release. There's row-level security permissions, which is really nice. There's a number of new changes in terms of uploading and managing data, in terms of admin features, and other than things like that. And it's really great. But these are the 4 or 5 things we really wanted to focus on, because these are the 4 or 5 things our customers have been asking us, and these are the things we've been in turn asking Metabase. So let us know if you have any questions. If you want to talk to us about anything, we're happy to discuss them with you. And we look forward to rolling this out to all of our customers in the next week or so. Thanks so much.